Greetings, my Dragonborn can like this Dragonborn Dragon Sage. I think get the memo. And then as always, if you're just watching this, don't forget to burn the like button, hit the subscribe button to join the family. Dragonborn can like, comment, share, and definitely ring that bell. And as you probably end up seeing, I am talking about the Paris Prime. I tried to get at least a good quality or at least like a PNG image, but all I kept getting was like, oh, if you want to download this, PNG type thing, it can only do web. So I just figured just use in game and just use that as like my thumbnails. So, and of course, the Paris Prime, you can only acquire, had to be rank 8. And it's definitely a very old bow. Okay, yeah, from what I've been seeing, I know it's like a very old bow in the game. Like even most, or in my opinion, most or all players would end up picking up this bow. So anyways, old bow, I want to see at least when Warframe, came out and it was like still a thing. Even when I was playing this game, I seen most, at least back then, 2015, even right around 2016, most people will use this bow. It was still pretty good. And of course, anyways, charge time, magazine, because, well, you're always using a bow. Reload, high chance, I'm very high chance, silent. Now, this one's definitely a little bit more for crit. And before I forget, here, I think it's kind of easily shown right after with my Dread bow review. Mostly build, but you kind of get the idea. The Dread is a little bit lesser than the Paris. And of course, I have mentioned about my old Paris Prime video in a video that I already done, so you can definitely check that out.
Greetings, my Dragon Knights and Dragon Warriors. Welcome back to Warframe, and today we are looking at the Paris Prime.
So, and here is what it looks like now. Of course, more for critical chance, critical hit, 20, 228 for puncture, since this is more for a puncture type weapon, slash and 9 for an impact, and here's the total damage. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the sec room just to show you at least not just my build that I kind of run with, but also maybe an idea, probably at least most for early, probably mostly mid to late game at most with the build I have, and it's probably more of like a budget type build. So I'll definitely see y'all soon. Alright, my Dragon Kin. This is basically my Paris Prime. Here's all my sets. You can definitely see what I have here. There we go. Of course, total damage for each. Then you got this one. Now, of course, I'm using at least this skin right here. This one looks pretty good. I can definitely see probably most would definitely go with this one. Now, of course, this one's just like basically like the regular Paris and the Paris Mark 1. Just exact same skin, which I do like myself better. Of course, then get this one. So, or if you really want, here's this one that came, I believe, with Oberon. But of course, I don't like this one. But here's kind of how it looks like. Okay, everything's like, ugh. So, but this one really fits like my own style. Of course, here's my colors that I kind of ran with. Anyways, here is my, just mostly in general, my own Paris Prime that I kind of ran with mostly myself. Of course, it's definitely 5 Forma. Here's what it looks like. So, of course, a lot of Forma because I had to freaking change up a lot of other stuff. And by the way, before I forget, if you have a weapon Exodus weapon mod slot, here you go. It's what kind of looks like for this one, and of course, an arcane if you choose to. I forgot to mention that in my Dread, but this is like kind of like a budget build in my personal opinion, even though it does at least 3k damage and 6k for a charge shot. So let's go ahead and get into it. course, this is what I usually go with. There we go. Of course, this build's more towards charge, but you can definitely get some really good headshots or even lone. In my personal opinion, kind of like how I kind of run my Paris. Prime mostly. Now, before I forget, can this work with regular Paris? Yes, if you choose to, but I think most would want a Paris Prime. There we go, red crit. There we go. Yeah. Since I'm doing a lot more viral, it's kind of helping. There we go. So let's just aim for the headshot, because thanks to the Governized mod, it does help out a lot. So, like I said, this is just like a little cool budget type build in general. But let's push it a little. Well, this is what I have. Let's try with corrosive, just for now. There we go. I don't believe I actually have this, at least on the overbuild Warframe dot Warframe or something like that, which I know I linked I believe was my Dread. As far as I'm aware of course, when that video should be now, it should be done. So, of course, I'm relying heavily on more for a little bit of status, but also with the damage. So, there he goes. There we go. Let's go on to the heavier units. Because I just figured where I always look at it like where usually most. There we go. Yeah, I'm just using different weapon just to help out with most of it, because I believe most players would want to pick this game up and try to. So, but like I said, this is like maybe like a budget type thing. And of course, 165 plus 4.4, because it does help out a lot in my opinion. Now you can definitely bump up a little bit with the status if you want to. I want to switch this back to viral if I find it. Yeah. And of course, this is just something just to throw together. Let's try that. Because also trying out new things, as you probably end up seeing. I always like to try some new stuff out. Yeah, I think what's carrying it right now for me, as you end up seeing, is just a little bit more status, but also with the mostly it's going to be the Prime Shred. Because the reason why I'll go for Prime Shred, since a Bombard's blocking the other, I just figure it'd be better because you end up seeing that right there. A little bit more punch through, so that way you can do at least a little bit more crowd control. So. There we go. Now, of course, I do not have a Riven on this weapon. Now, I did, from an ex-friend, he did give me his weapon, mod. it helps out a lot. If you have a really good or even godly rhythm for this bow, you can probably mostly clear out even on normal. And, in my personal opinion, Steel Path hard mode. But yeah, that heavy gunner had a little bit more armor. But I just want to show you, this is going to be kind of like how like a budget build. Probably most I want to go with. Now, if you do not have like Prime Shred, depending on barrel tier, or you just traded, you can definitely throw this on and call it a day. But I like to have a little bit more right there. So, again, like I said, more damage you can go with, it'd probably be a lot better. So, but yeah, this is, like I said, this is like kind of like how a budget type build will be. Now, don't get me wrong, the Paris Prime is definitely a good oldie weapon in general. And I do enjoy it myself. This will definitely clear out at least most through the star chart, depending on where you are. And you can definitely trade this, and this is like a weapon that I know doesn't get vaulted as much or all the time because it's always in that rotation with new warframes, new prime weapons, and you know, it's just RNG. Even if you go through just a star chart just with this bow, you'll be fine. And of course, here's, like I said, just show you again. This is kind of how I'll go. Now, probably for this one, you could definitely do some trading, or if you want to go through the vaults, which I'll definitely like do a video on that, but I think everybody already has done. Oh, hey, how to get corrupted mods, which is critical delay, as you've seen, plus 22% more critical chance, but less bow fire rate. Alright, on top of that, I have this one, but less accuracy. So I had to like balance it out with either with shred, even though with punch through, or if you don't have that, I think even with speed trigger will be good too. But of course, I like a little bit more there for myself. You know what? Now, if I remember correctly, you can get this only through the bounties and Cetus, if I remember correctly. But you have a little bit more have a little bit more fire rate with this. And of course, 5% chance to enhance critical hits on the primary weapons, which I'll probably end up going for myself right there. So, but yeah, hopefully that you enjoyed. Sorry for these at least little cringy, somewhat thumbnails that I know most of what happened, because every time I try to get a good Paris Prime look-alike or, you know, like image, it just always goes to web.jpg or webj something that always messes up, and it's not transparent because even when I click on it, it's like, no, it's only going through the website. So I'm kind of just using my own, you know, game thumbnails that you probably end up seeing, like, at least in my, you know, Journey Plus Warframe. So, anyway, it's much like a nice Dragonborn drinking. Hopefully that you enjoyed. As always, if you like so, don't forget to burn that like button, and the subscribe button to join the family Dragonborn drinking. Like, comment, share, and definitely ring that bell. I will say this again: if you have a rhythm mod that is godly or even just good, you probably would have a lot better chance. I might try this out on stream for another day. And yeah, this is the only problem with this, because if I move something, it just goes to here. But I'd rather have a little bit more damage, excuse me. And plus, the polarity doesn't work. So again, like I said, just a budget type level, probably get you at least to mid to early late game, in my opinion. So, but like I said, if you have a rhythm mod, and that is like godly, like I showed you in my Dread video, and of course with the Paris Prime, I think you're golden from there on. So, but as always, my Dragonite, Dragonborn, Dragonkin, this is Dragonite, Dragonborn, Dragon Sage, signing out. Have a good one. My Dragonite, Dragonborn, and Dragonkin, I like.